Have you ever heard of a prince who became a guerrilla warrior? A mystic who led a holy war against a colonial empire? This is the story of Prince Diponegoro, one of Indonesia's most revered national heroes. His life was a whirlwind of court intrigue, spiritual awakening, and a 5-year war that nearly bankrupted the Dutch and reshaped the future of Java. Born in 1785 in the heart of the his name was Raden Mas Mustar. His father was the future Sultan Hamengkubuwono III, but his mother was a concubine, not the queen consort. This seemingly small detail would have massive consequences. Because of his mother's status, Diponegoro was not in the direct line of succession. This might seem like a disadvantage, but it freed him from the suffocating politics of the royal court, the Kraton. While his half-brothers were groomed for power, Diponegoro spent his youth away from the palace. He was raised by his great-grandmother at the Diponegoro estate, just outside the capital. Here, he immersed himself in something far more profound than courtly manners. He studied Islamic texts, practiced meditation, and connected deeply with the common people, the farmers, merchants, and laborers of Java. He saw their struggles, their poverty, and their deep-seated resentment towards the growing influence of the Dutch. Diponegoro was not your typical prince. He was a devout Muslim, known for his piety and mystical inclinations. He would often retreat to sacred caves like Gua Selarong for meditation, seeking spiritual guidance. It was during these retreats that he believed he received divine visions. He felt he was chosen by a higher power, a Ratu Adil, or a just king, destined to cleanse Java of corruption and foreign influence and restore the island to its former glory. This divine mandate would become the bedrock of his resistance. Meanwhile, the situation in Java was becoming increasingly tense. The Dutch East India Company, and later the Dutch colonial government, were tightening their grip. They interfered in court succession, imposed heavy taxes, and seized land for their plantations. The Javanese aristocracy, including many within Diponegoro's own family, were seen as collaborating with the Dutch, profiting while their people suffered. The Dutch even planned to build a road through the sacred Diponegoro estate, an act that desecrated his family's ancestral land and was the final straw for In July 1825, the conflict exploded when Dutch officials, backed by Javanese court troops, arrived at Diponegoro to arrest him. Diponegoro and his followers fought back. They escaped into the countryside, and what began as a small skirmish quickly ignited into a full-blown war. The Java War. This was no ordinary rebellion. Diponegoro declared it a Perang Sabay, a holy war against the infidel Dutch. His charisma, his royal lineage, and his reputation as a spiritual leader were powerful recruitment tools. Thousands flocked to his banner. From peasants and bandits to disenchanted nobles and religious scholars, he was a brilliant military strategist, abandoning conventional tactics for a relentless guerrilla campaign. From his headquarters in the caves of Selarong, he directed his forces. They launched surprise attacks, ambushed Dutch patrols, and disrupted supply lines. The rugged terrain of central Java, with its mountains, forests, and ravines, became their greatest ally. For the Dutch, it was a nightmare. Their heavily armed European soldiers were no match for these swift, elusive fighters who knew the land like the back of their hand. The Dutch commander, General de Kock, was utterly frustrated. The Java War raged for 5 long years, from 1825 to 1830. It was devastating. The conflict cost the lives of an estimated 200,000 Javanese people and around 15,000 on the Dutch side, a staggering number for the time. The Dutch treasury was drained, pushing the colonial government to the brink of bankruptcy. They poured millions of guilders and thousands of troops into Java, but Diponegoro's spirit of resistance seemed unbreakable. To counter the guerrilla tactics, General de Kock implemented a strategy called the Benteng Stelsel, or fortress system. He built a network of small, fortified posts across the countryside to restrict the movement of Diponegoro's troops and gradually reclaim territory. It was a slow, grueling, but effective strategy. One by one, Diponegoro's commanders were captured or surrendered. His support base began to weaken under the immense pressure. By 1830, Diponegoro was cornered, seeing his people suffer from the prolonged war. He agreed to enter negotiations with the Dutch. He was promised safe conduct and believed he would be treated as an equal, a leader of a sovereign people. He met General de Kock in the town of hoping to discuss a peaceful resolution that would recognize his status as a leader and protector of Islam in Java. But it was a trap. The Dutch had no intention of negotiating. As soon as he entered the general's residence, the gates were locked. Diponegoro was arrested. The famous Indonesian painter, Raden Saleh, later captured this moment of betrayal in his iconic painting, The Arrest of Prince Diponegoro. Unlike the Dutch version, which depicted a submissive prince, Saleh's painting showed a defiant, angry Diponegoro, a man betrayed but not broken. With their leader captured, the Java War came to an end. Diponegoro was exiled, first to Manado, then to Makassar and Sulawesi, far from his beloved Java, ensuring he could never again inspire a rebellion. He spent the rest of his life in exile, writing his autobiography, a Javanese text known as the Baba Diponegoro. This manuscript is now a UNESCO memory of the world treasure, a testament to his life and struggles from his own perspective. He passed away in Fort Rotterdam, Makassar, in 1855, never to see his homeland again. Though he was defeated, Diponegoro's legacy is immense. The Java War was the largest and costliest conflict the Dutch ever fought in Indonesia. It exposed the deep-seated resistance to colonial rule and became a powerful symbol for future nationalist movements. Diponegoro himself was transformed from a Javanese prince into an Indonesian national hero. He embodies the spirit of defiance, the fight for justice, and the unwavering love for one's homeland. His story reminds us that history is often shaped by those who dare to challenge the status quo, by individuals who are driven by a powerful vision for a better world. Prince Diponegoro wasn't just fighting for land or power. He was fighting for dignity, faith, and the soul of his people. His struggle continues to inspire generations of Indonesians and stands as a powerful chapter in the global story of anti-colonial resistance. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe for more histories from around the world, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.